Welcome to Between Two Fans. It is your boy CP and Mr. Dan Scholz, and it's another episode 11 of the podcast. And it's another exciting weekend of sport. So a very interesting weekend of URC action. We saw 2 wins for South African sides, 2 losses for South African sides. A big weekend of Premier League football as well. The title race heating up. Then draw again between Arsenal, City, Liverpool coming. Well, hello and welcome to Between Two Fans. It is your boy CP and Mr. Dan Scholz, and it's another episode 11 of the podcast. And it's another exciting weekend of sport. So a very interesting weekend of URC action. We saw 2 wins for South African sides, 2 losses for South African sides. A big weekend of Premier League football as well. The title race heating up. Then draw again between Arsenal, City, Liverpool coming away with a win. So things are getting a little bit interesting there. And the IPL is into full swing as well. So plenty to talk about over the next sort of hour. But before we get into that, Dan, are you well?
Superb, Stevie, superb. As you can see, Reds top of the league. I'm absolutely buzzing. I've never enjoyed a 0-0 draw more than I did on Sunday.
And it was a terrible 0-0 draw. We'll talk about that later.
It was a terrible 0-0 draw, but I loved every bit of it. And Stormers clinching. I mean, thank goodness I wasn't watching, so I didn't have to go through the grueling 75 minutes of pain, but managing to get out a win. So, man's buzzing.
Yeah, decent weekend for you. Quite the opposite for me. So, I need to do a bit of a better sporting weekend upcoming. But at least something which I can always make me smile is the predictions that we've got between us. So for those of you who don't know, myself and Dan make 3 predictions every single week, and we've got a running tally. Steve currently sitting with a classic bomb squad bench 6-2 lead at the moment.
6-2 split. I'd say I wish you could make it 7-1, but unfortunately there are no negative points.
Yeah, so I think probably a good thing for you. Yeah,
it might warrant at this point. But
right, so Dan, takes the predictions.
Okay. Well, Stevie, match 1 was actually Man City versus Arsenal, and it's a bit contentious. And I've forgotten kind of exactly what we said last time, but the match ended 0-0, as we previously alluded to. My prediction was 3-1. Yours was 2-0. So both 2-goal advantage. I think, are we calling that evens?
Yeah, I think you have to call that a draw.
Yeah. Then we're going to go Leinster versus Bulls. I mean, we've actually both had howlers, but I've had more of a howler. I've gone Bulls by the end result was Leinster blowout win 47-14 versus the Bulls. We held their own in the first half, but kind of got blown away by the Irish Giants. Essentially, my prediction was Bulls by 3. Yours was Leinster by 7. So, while this does tend to happen on this show, is both of us way off, but one the lesser of the wrong. So, Stevie, congratulations. There is your point there.
There we go.
And then, unfortunately, that goes into an unassailable lead. But I did draw it level on the Sharks versus Edinburgh, where the result was Sharks 23, Edinburgh 13. So Sharks won by 10. My prediction was Sharks by 7. Your Sharks by 5. So I've edged it a little closer. I've stopped the momentum. Most importantly, I think that would have been 3 on the bounce that I haven't got anything from. So for me, it's a small win, Stevie. It's a small win. We keep it at the 6-2 split, and I'll slowly start regaining now. I think a little bit of confidence is coming back into me. The sun's coming out here in the UK.
Is this?
You know, this is
changing. Turning of the tides.
Yeah, turning of the tides. You descending there into winter. I'm coming out. I think I've just managed to hit that. You know, Easter weekend. Managed just to pump the brakes on. So it remains 6-2. And let's start off with the rugby, Stevie. A hell of a weekend. And as you said, 2 home wins, 2 away losses for the South African teams.
Yeah, well, let's just see some of the results here. So, as mentioned there, Leinster, 47 points to 14, hammering the Bulls. That win a brilliant second half performance there. Dragons beating Zebra 20 points to 13. Benetton 18 points to 14 win against Connacht. Important for them because they've kind of slipped off a little bit. Sharks getting a second win on the bounce.
By the way, absolutely huge.
A big dramatic win there from that side. Sharks continue the momentum, 23 points, 13 win against Edinburgh. Ospreys beat the Lions 36 points, 21. Stormers a late 13 points to 7 with victory. Scarlets, big blowout win there for Glasgow Warriors, winning 45 points to 3. And then Munster edging Cardiff 20 points to 15, the final game of the weekend. Let's start at the very beginning. The Bulls on Friday night, first half, very much in the game. Pushing Leinster well and keeping them on their toes. And in the second half, well, a bit of a bomb squad coming on from Leinster. I think they made 5 subs at 46 minutes and completely blew Bulls away. It was.
I saw Jack White's comments afterwards, kind of essentially saying respectfully to my team, but like kind of what would they expect? Not what were they expecting, but look who came on, like Jamie Gibson-Park. Jack Cohen, Dan Sheehan. It's a bit of a joke. These are guys who have beaten the All Blacks in an away, test series and stuff like that. Like the pedigree that they have is ridiculous. So, I think fair play to the Bulls for sticking around for that long, but I think a massive point of the game was that red card. Stevie Currie obviously going over the whitewash. Massive cover tackle from Leicester man. I mean, essentially head contact comes flying across and just a yellow card. I feel like everyone has unanimously said that it should have been a red. Are you in that park as well?
Yeah, clear as day red. There was, for me, no mitigation. Luke McGrath comes in, his arms are nowhere. There's direct head contact. Massive L's being taken by some of the commentators. You suggest that if Kurt Yarns had just gone in for a dive, then it wouldn't have been an issue. You're sitting there going, so he needs to run away from a defense to avoid being smashed in the head, and it's his fault.
Yeah. That's not how this works.
Some people even try to suggest that he should get a yellow for leaning with his elbow, and you go back and you look at the context and you think, no, there was absolutely nothing there. So
the first thing Kurt Yarns did was actually check that he was okay. If the other player was okay. Like, don't come here with that Currie Arance as malicious, because he's the least malicious rugby player on the circuit. But that could have changed the game significantly, because at that stage, I think Bulls were leading 14 points to 12. So a red card there would have made the game very, very interesting.
Small point as well. There were 40 points to 12, but I think it was 13 point, whatever it was. But it would have actually been a penalty try. And Jan Christen actually missed the conversion.
True.
So had it been a red card, penalty try, extra 2 points, a man up as well. You look at the final score, 47 points to 14, and you think that it wouldn't have made a difference. But at that stage of the game, whether they would have won, who knows? But it would have been closer. They definitely would have been closer. Could they have come away with a losing bonus point, for example? Those sort of small margins. So. Yeah, I think it was a very significant moment. Makes it very frustrating that although it is funny how so many South African fans who've been calling for, how easily red cards are dished out and they hate like the 20-minute red card and stuff like that. As soon as something like this happens, everyone's out ready for the Reds. But it was a red card, and it's been very frustrating looking at like Super Rugby, for example, and how badly they just don't take head contact seriously. And this was one of those grossly poorly managed incidents, which third lines should have gone off with an HIA. It should have been a red card, and we've got to start finding more consistency with this kind of these kind of clashes, because it's just getting ridiculous now.
Yeah, no, agreed. Stevie, let's get the second South African loss out the way, just so you can enjoy the rest of this podcast. Ospreys 36 points to the Lions 21. I bet you did not see this coming after a strong showing at Connacht. What's happened to the Lions? You thought they were in that top 8 race, and now they've just taken themselves down to 11th.
Yeah, look, I mean, and this is the part. I mean, we'll look at the table, and it's just so incredibly close that one win, one loss, for example, can move you from a 6th to an 11th like that. Literally, they'd be 3 points between 6th and 11th. Yeah. The Lions didn't really pitch up, to be honest. After a couple of tough decisions their way, especially that there was a try that they weren't awarded, which we did score about 2-3 minutes later, which for me was also clear ground and stuff like that. But just couldn't really have momentum. Bit of a fight back towards the end, but I think we started so poorly that we were always kind of sort of chasing the game. And I think that we definitely missed us nuts in Clavicania. Didn't quite have that sort of scrum set of set piece to move to sort of build
It's a
dominance.
3-game ban for him, for his red card. 3-game ban.
Two if you he does tackle school. Again, and then you look at that tackle
school. Not to attend tackle school, by the way.
Yeah, no, imagine that. In fact, I'd rather just take a week off. Thanks, boys.
Like, I love that. It's just like they give them the option. Like, someone's going to be like, no, I'm fine. I'm good. I know how to tackle.
I know how to tackle those shirts, boys. But yeah, I mean, I look at his yellow card. I mean, red card, and yeah, for my left of the Lord is. But I mean, he came up off the line, and he's on his knees. Is upright the tackle, but he's literally on his knees making the tackle. You look at like Luke McGraw, who's standing straight up, like flying in, no arms, no shit, nothing. Like, and he'll play this week. He can play this weekend.
Yeah, Slavakan is a little difficult because it in real time, just that hit was huge. But it's kind of because the guys had it on the ground. As he's tapped it, his head isn't up to see what's coming, to almost anticipate it, and he just flies in. I mean, I still think it's a red, to be honest. Slavakan is, but you can understand why he can feel kind of hard done in a certain way, because he has tried to get down. It's just this guy's just tapped the ball and picking it up off the ground. But yeah, flying into the guy's head. I don't know. For me, it's still red, but you can see why it is.
Yeah, I think he gets unlucky because I think if the play he's tackling is upright, is more upright the tackle, then he hammers him in sort of the chest downwards, and it's one of those like more tackles. But the play is quite low to the ground, which is where the head contact is. Which is why I said, into the law, head contact, red card, which is fine if they're a week later, Luke McGraw, who's upright in the tackle, hammers Red Lawrence in the head, red card. Yeah. But the consistencies that the fans hate.
It's like that's a 5. It was like or 10 meter, space in between, and it was like fast. He shot up versus McGraw running cross field for like 50 meters,
and had every chance to get low.
And then every single chance to anticipate like how to. Obviously, he's going at full tilt, so it's hard to get out the way at the last moment. But still getting your body in a position to be able to make a tackle. At a legal height is
an awful tackle.
What's important?
Absolutely, Chembar tackle.
Stevie, so I mean, happy days for me. I was following on my phone, just seeing like I saw 7-0. I was like, oh, cool. Must be 20 minutes into the game or 7-3. I was like 70 minutes into the game. I started sweating buckets a little bit, but a good showing in the end.
Smash and grab, to be perfect. I think.
But by good showing, I mean a good result.
Good result. Yeah.
Like having rewatched the game, it just didn't look like it was flowing. I mean, you get so used to the Stormers just kind of scoring tries for fun and often conceding quite a few. So a non-typical low-scoring game in Stephen Kitsoff's return. My favorite moment of the match was when it was Kitsoff versus Frans van Haber. Frans van Haber getting the better of him, and I think that's must be their first ever competitive scrum against one another.
Yeah, and the only one as well.
Yeah, and just two giants. I mean, Frans van Haber being back in itself is just exciting. But yeah, just two giants. And now some rumors about Kitsoff coming back to the Stormers. All kind of happening in that world. But glad the Stormers got it done, because I think had we not, we would have been sucked into that chaos that is the log between kind of 6th and 8th place. We aren't out and just ahead completely, but it does put us in a good position in 5th as it currently stands. And then
one thing I will say about the game, though, as I think as a Stormers fan, I don't think I'll be madly confident again of silverware this season. I think that game at home, for example, against a struggling Ulster, first half completely outplayed. Ulster so inaccurate with finishing off their chances, had all the dominance, all the opportunities, and I think had they managed to score once or twice more in the first half, I don't think I would have seen the Stormers coming back. So a big result, but I think even John Dobson say that things are just not kicking into gear. So we'll talk a little bit about the fixtures this weekend, but I think the Stormers are not quite in the space where they want to be.
It's a team that makes a lot of mistakes. They have moments of that the clinical team of 2-3 or last year before, but just I think too many errors, just that the kind of unforced errors, and I don't know if there's just not enough discipline either in and around. I still get frustrated with Evan Roos. I think he needs to really kind of tighten up around the fringes in terms of, the way that he is going about imposing himself in games and kind of being that dominant person, because now's the time of the season if he wants to be in contention for, any match day 23. So the rest of for the box season, now is the time of the season that you kind of show you can do that, and no better opportunity than this weekend. But let's quickly touch on the the Sharks back-to-back wins for the first time since December 2022 in the URC, getting the win over Edinburgh, 23 points to 13. And Stevie, I'm calling Sia Masuku. Nothing else has really changed. They've obviously bolstered their forward pack a little bit, but Sia Masuku, big running fly half, taking the, kind of holding up a defense, I feel like, a little bit.
Yeah.
We changed that from like a Butcher Chamberlain, Cohen Bosch. As a defense, you're not worried about that person running at you or breaking your lines. They're counterattackers, they're good kicking, but a good win for Sharks, and momentum that they feel they'll be able to take into not only the Challenge Cup, but possibly even next season of the URC. It's kind of just how they just need to finish the season at this point.
Yeah, look, I mean, they're all in the Challenge Cup, so I think the URC needs to be where, again, as you mentioned, where they find that momentum, where they find that confidence. I mean, they're so far out of that top 8 race, so top 8 is not on the cards for them, but they need to prove that the Sharks project is going somewhere. So, if they can try and finish strong, maybe try to reel in a Cardiff, finish at 12th, to push. Then, Champions Challenge Cup at the end of the day, that's their only potential avenue for Champions Cup. Yeah. So look, I think they have turned a bit of a corner. I still think they're far from the finished product, but Zukoff coming back has definitely made a big difference. They've got a world class front row, which will win penalties against most teams in the world.
Yeah,
I do think that's so
strong.
No, it's just silly. And the depth that they got as well, in that front row. So they've got 2 proper front rows. They're now being able to field, the pack that they want to. And then you got to see Masuku behind the pack who can make players put players in space and create opportunities. And we've been calling for it all season. So I don't know. It's just weird how it's taken so long to make the change. But they have made the change, which is the main thing. And it's probably a good time going into this weekend. The EPCR does return, and 2 South African teams in the playoffs. It is the last 16 in both competitions, by the way. So after this, we'll move to quarterfinals, which will be next weekend as well. So very quick turnaround time. Let's look at some of the fixtures here. So in the Champions Cup, it is Harlequins versus Glasgow Warriors, Bulls versus Lyon, Exeter versus Bath, Stormers at Haven versus La Rochelle, Bordeaux versus Saracens, Leinster versus Leicester, Northampton versus Munster, Toulouse versus Racing, which should be a great game on Sunday there. For the Challenge Cup, it is Gloucester versus Castres, Clermont versus Cheetahs, Brighton versus Lions, Edinburgh versus Bayonne, Ospreys versus Sale, Montpellier versus Ulster, Charles versus Zebra, and Hull versus Connacht. So, Dan, some very, very cool games there. Before we look at them, an interesting post. If you ever want to sort of look at how many South Africans are playing overseas, one of the publications yesterday did all the fixtures, and basically every single fixture bar, I think it was Racing versus Toulouse, they could use a South African player as a ref.
Well, and that's when because Sia Khaleesi's just had an operation, right?
No, well, they got Trevor, so so it was Toulouse that didn't have a player for.
Okay,
which I'm pretty sure they do actually. If I look at that squad, but they just decided to go to Anton Dupont.
True, but it's crazy the width and the kind of spread that South Africans go to. We've spoken about it before. You do find it's very scarce that all of this talent doesn't actually come back. Most of you kind of have to make your name within South Africa, and if you want to get into kind of the green and gold jersey before going out wide, but there's still just so much South African talent out there. But Stevie, this weekend, I think for me the ones I'm most excited for, obviously Stormers La Rochelle. I'm still I know we've spoken about this, but so frustrated with how these fixtures have kind of come out. I just think it's frustrating that we're seeing repeat, mostly because I feel like beating La Rochelle once is big enough. And Stormers had to wait till the last kick of the game with the Money Liebok one from the corner to get it done. And now we need to just try and build ourselves up to do that all again. And then I think the next two ones, I think Northampton, Munster, that's an iconic game. Two teams doing well in their respective kind of domestic leagues, or the URC and the Premiership. I think that's going to be absolutely massive. And then Harlequins, Glasgow Warriors as well. Harlequins seem to be a team that are kind of stepping up one game and then getting blown out the water the next. So you don't really know which one's coming up, and they're going to be up against the Glasgow Warriors, which I don't think very many people would have said would have been second in the URC come this part of the season, at the beginning of the season. So a really, really strong and dominant Glasgow Warriors who had a massive win over the weekend, and versus a Harlequins who also had a big win over the weekend. But I mean, it's going to be tough for I think most of these games you can't really call, right? I don't think there are that many blowout wins. I'd say the one that seems the most obvious is Leinster versus Leicester, and maybe Bulls and Lyon. But other than that, it's hard to call some of these games.
Yeah, I think you mentioned the biggest frustration is how many of these are repeats. I mean, we've already seen Bulls Lyon this season. We've seen Stormers La Rochelle. I think we've seen, as well, Northampton. I'm pretty sure we've even seen Leinster this, but I mean, half these games are
like Exeter Bath, like that happens. You know, this is a game that's seen.
Yeah, not even. I mean, I don't. To a certain degree, I don't mind the inter-country games. I suppose you kind of have to have them eventually, but for me, there's been so many repeats from the group stages that it's just, I don't know how you. I mean, surely I don't know if it's just one sort of rule change, or you just sit there say that you can't draw something from your group just for one round, because it's just, to be going into the first round of playoffs, the first opportunity to play a different team, and you're not. It's just that frustrates me. So, but still some great games. I think yes, I'm really looking forward to that Toulouse Racing game on Sunday. I think that should be a great watch. The Challenge Cup's going to be interesting because I think you look there, and I think probably a bit more straightforward in terms of who the favourites are. Sharks at home against Zebra. They've wrapped up with that draw, and this is to be fair, Zebra have beaten in the season, but Sharks at home and Zebra kind of dropped off where Sharks
not against Masuku.
Exactly.
Zebra have not played Masuku.
Yeah, the Cheetahs going to West Clermont. It'll be interesting to see how they go there.
Come on, the Cheetahs.
I love riding on them. Ruan Pienaar in the squad.
Do it, bro. They've got to do it.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a decent squad that they sent over there. Open Hodges involved. Ruan Pienaar obviously there. Just to say Kent captain it, so hopefully he'll have a good game there. Khalifa Murba plays to watch there, so it's a decent side that they've sent over. And then the Lions, probably the most difficult of the games, have to go away to Benetton. Never easy in Treviso. It's a game where they can win, but it's going to be a tough one. I think that along with Montpellier, Ulster, probably the two games of the weekend from a Challenge Cup perspective.
And Park Connacht, to be fair, I think that'll be also a strong one. But it's very hard to predict this Lions Benetton one. Both Lions and Benetton been a little bit up and down recently. Benetton obviously just getting the last minute victory this weekend in the URC versus the Lions, who were down by the Ospreys. So but then again, the week prior it was the reverse result: Lions getting a victory and Benetton taking a loss. So not really sure which way it could go. I think that home ground advantage is going to play a massive impact though. But it'll be exciting to see who is up this time next week, as you say, back-to-back weeks of the competitions. So single leg, come straight knockout. It's like a FA Cup from here on out. So
and if you guys could just do like everybody a favor, win the game and get a home quarter final, because I'm actually in Cape Town next weekend. So
I'm encouraging the boys, and I hope that your prediction reflects that as well, Stevie. or maybe not. Put your money where your mouth is. Put your money where your mouth is.
Maybe the reverse psychology there.
And who? I'm trying to remember who the Stormers would play if we win that. I think it's the Harlequins versus Glasgow winners, but I stand to be corrected on that. But Stevie, another fringe kind of rugby news. Massive Louis Rees-Zammit picked up by the Kansas City Chiefs in the NFL. A lot of noise around this. He'll be a running back, I believe. This is me speaking about a sport that I
running back / wide receiver apparently is where he's looking at.
And apparently the Kansas City coach, people are likening him to a Rassie Erasmus, very innovative, and they are playing around with even passing the ball not just once but twice or three times within a phase of play, which is apparent. People are speculating how they can see Louis Rees-Zammit used as a receiver and then, giving little offloads. I don't know if the Sonny Ball Williams pop is going to come into the NFL anytime soon, but first of all, just big up to Louis Rees-Zammit for taking that risk, essentially, where a lot of people kind of just wrote him off, and now he's got a 3-year deal. Will he play? We don't know, but massive respect to the man.
I think it's a cool crossover. I'd be interested to see. We always talk about the differences in the game, and if you see somebody like Louis Rees-Zammit who can make the move across there, and if he does play, for example, then it opens the path for more crossover. And a lot of people are saying, because World Rugby posted about it, and it was like, how could you post about it? This is so bad for the rugby game, and it is a big loss for the rugby game. But I think, the world's becoming a small place. I think there's going to be so much more crossover between different sports, between different brands and stuff like that. I enjoy something like this. I think it's something a bit new, something a bit cool. I think there's no doubt he's a big loss to the rugby game, but will this drive interest into the NFL?
He'll be back, no doubt.
Oh yeah, he's not going to go play NFL for 10 years. I suppose money-wise, maybe he will.
End of his 3-year career, I think, takes him to the 2027 World Cup in Australia. So could maybe even feature in that. Might be a bit of a push. But he'll certainly.
He's so young. He can play the 2031. So he can go there, in some bank, and then come back for Wales and go play a British and Irish Lions tour. Go get a World Cup.
Absolutely. And then other news, Stevie. Sam Whitelock retires, the absolute veteran of an All Black, retiring from club rugby, youngest ever All Black to reach 100 caps at 29 years of age. I think 156 international caps by the end of it. Just an absolute beast. So we wish him farewell in his retirement.
One of the most clutch moments in World Cup history. Hey, the turnover against I was in the stadium there, and I can tell you right now, there were Irish media who I think were willing to climb over that fence to start beating him up.
Yes, just those phases. It must have been like the 40-something phase that I was going through, and just unrelenting, and then bang, Sam Whitelock at what felt like 45 years old, defending all 4 people. Just cheers. Sorry, you are not getting to that ball.
No, and such a professional. Had the privilege of speaking to him after that game. In the mix zone afterwards, and just quite softly spoken, very humble, very. First thing he sort of said was, he just wanted to contribute, he just wanted to be in and around, and he's willing to do whatever he can just to get this group over. So, one of the most likable guys in rugby. And came from a Springbok fan. He's put us through a lot. He's been part of very good All Black sides who've decimated us.
Have not brought joy to our faces when we see them on the team sheet.
No, and if you look at his record, he's won everything you could possibly win in rugby: World Cups, Super Rugbies, Bledisloe Cups. It's ridiculous what he's won. So one of the all-time greats.
Yeah. And Stevie, let's get into the football that's happened this week. So massive swing in the title race. I mean, any result that isn't a win for Liverpool, Man City, or Arsenal is a massive swing because that's just how close this title race is. But let's go through a couple of the results from the weekend. Big ones were Newcastle beating West Ham 4-3. Burnley holding on against Chelsea 2-2. Nottingham Forest getting necessary points to kind of avoid the relegation. The 1-1 draw against Palace. Fulham coming from behind to take a point off Sheffield, who looked like they were going to finally get 3 points. Tottenham coming from behind to get Luton to keep themselves in the top 4 race. That was dismantled after a draw with West Ham last night. Man United thinking they've sealed it with a 96th minute goal.
That would have been the most ludicrous result of all time. That if you ever looked up a definition of a smash and grab, that would have been it. Because
no, you didn't deserve that at all.
Ivan Toney's had as many touches in the United box that United did at the Brentford box.
Really?
Yeah.
No, it was a well one-sided affair, and Brentford haven't quite managed to kind of get the season rolling. I don't think they're not really getting dragged into that conversation of relegation, but they're just kind of not quite critical enough. But I think you're actually, as much as you lost those 3 points or lost 2 of those 3 points in the 99th minute, I think you can actually be okay with the 1-1 draw. But then Liverpool coming from behind 2-1 versus Brighton. Oh, stress. I'm losing life, Stevie. I'm losing years of my life watching this Liverpool team go 1-0 down in every single game.
Yeah.
But it proved pivotal to take them top of the table with Man City and Arsenal drawing 0-0. Self-proclaimed, Stevie, most boring 0-0 you've ever
terrible.
watched.
I think I saw a tweet that summed it up, which said if somebody had never watched football and you said, no, sit down and watch the top 2 teams in the league right now, in the best league in the world, they would have gone, okay, I'm never watching football again.
Yeah.
Two teams, too scared. It was one of those things, if they'd walked out.
They were nervous.
And Arteta and Guardiola said, well, should we just shake on a 0-0 draw? They would have done it. Both 2 teams too scared to overcommit, too scared to go for it. And I think, it was really frustrating me. I thought it was a while. I mean, Arsenal fans celebrated it massively, which I thought was weird. Because I think that Arsenal.
I mean, it's bigger for them. It keeps them in the hunt.
And 100%. Because now City are 4 points behind Liverpool, so now they need Liverpool. They need other results to go their way. Arsenal obviously also need to, but one draw, for example, and an Arsenal back level with Liverpool. So it didn't mean more to them, but I just also think from an Arsenal perspective, these are the games that they had to win to show their title contenders. And this is now the second time where they haven't been able to go out and get that result. It does make the run interesting. A couple of interesting games coming up. Both Arsenal, I think, and United both play United. So it's about the closest thing we've got to the title race is potentially maybe influencing it. But
no, the run-ins are all fairly similar. Arsenal probably was a little bit more difficult than City, Liverpool. I mean, all teams are still in Europe, so it's not like they can just abandon ship on other competitions. City are still in the only one still in the FA Cup, but if you look at Opta's stats, which I'm loving the reading of and trying not to get too ahead of myself, because it reads that Liverpool now are outright favourites of 47% chance of winning the league, with Man City second favourites, 33% chance, and Arsenal is third with an 18% chance.
Arsenal fans must get so happy that kind of stat. They're 2 points behind the league, 1 point ahead of City, and yet they're less than half as likely as to win the league as City are.
They also have a 50% or 49.6% chance of coming third as well, while currently sitting in second. So it's also it is disrespectful things from Opta, but hey,
Opta. If there's one stats company you don't want to take out, it's Opta.
Well, if you say that, Stevie, I am ready to almost celebrate a Premier League.
Football is played on the field.
Yeah, football's played on the field, exactly. Still 9 games to go, and a big games this weekend. Man City Villa. Unfortunately,
That's
there are
today.
only Watkins, or unfortunately, unless you're a Manchester City fan. But that should be a really big game. Chelsea, Man United, Stevie, typically a massive game, but not really much to play for. Between the teams. I mean, I did see from Opta's stats that Man United have a 1.4% chance of making top four. So,
well, there you go, dude. I'll take those odds. We've got a game in hand on Villa and Spurs, so don't you stress about that 11-point margin. That'll soon be an 8-point margin.
I mean, Spurs taking a draw last night versus West Ham. So maybe that 1% could have become 2 or 3. Who knows?
Well, as I said, if we do beat Chelsea tomorrow, Villa go down to City, then it means that we can close the gap a little bit there. Got to, I think, within 7 points of them. So, yeah, look, to be honest, the weird thing is, if United get back-to-back victories here, Villa playing Brentford this weekend, the Brentford play anything like that, they could drop points. Spurs have got some massive games coming up. They've got to play, I think they have to play all 3 teams in that top top 4. And so it's very small, but
also Champions League could be top 5 teams this season with the new format. I believe, and depending on how kind of it all draws out by the end, but we can't be exactly sure when it will be 4 or 5 teams going through the Champions League, but it does open that door a little bit more.
Yeah, well, it's just annoying because if we had won over the weekend, we're sitting on 9 points behind with the game in hand. So you win that game in hand and you're 6 points behind. And at 6 points with 9 games to go, you can overturn that kind of deficit. Yeah. But it's the standard thing. Every single time United's got an opportunity to try and close a small gap and try and do something, but you know what, it's a bit of a right season. I mean, for example, when it comes to injuries, Lissandro Martinez and Victor Lindelof was out for a month. So United we just can't compete with.
It is a bit of a shambles of a season, to be honest. Like, I think you guys just kind of need to draw to a close at this stage. Maybe even get up with an FA Cup, maybe. But then it's also going to be a shaky one this evening for Arsenal versus Luton. Luton obviously scrambling for in a relegation battle versus the title challenger. Those are always good games when they kind of start to get cagey. You just don't know which way they could go. And then tomorrow, Sheffield, Liverpool. I'm hoping that Liverpool just dismantle Sheffield and don't even give them a sniff. But obviously, the same scenario: team trying to get out of relegation versus a team going for the league. And it's just sometimes that your log position becomes very irrelevant at this part of the season because there are bigger things at play, and you actually don't, as long as you you want to be paying actually more like a mid-table team.
You want to be playing against your Brightons, your Wolves, even your Chelseas. Teams who are there, they're safe from relegation. They can't make anything. They kind of just flipping along to the end of the season.
There's no repercussions to a bad result essentially. But we've got a midweek game. We've got this weekend some exciting ones. Most notably, Brighton Arsenal. Brighton kind of falling in that category in the middle, not much to play for, but have been playing well recently. Man United Liverpool, Stevie. You boys are hosting us again, a repeat of that recent unbelievable FA Cup game, and then a big one: Spurs versus Forest, top 4 battle versus relegation battle, and Forest were looking very good last night. Ended up winning that game 3-1, and it could have been many more. They got their tails up, and they obviously, having just taken a 4-point deduction, are looking to kind of get the ball rolling and make sure that they don't let Luton kind of bring them down into that relegation battle. But lots of Premier League at the moment, which is delightful after that international break.
Yeah, no more international breaks. So we're now really into the Champions League returns next week. So we're into the business end of the season. This is where it all gets very exciting. This game's coming thick and fast. And one of those things where you step up now, any sort of momentum you lose, prove obviously for relegation, for title challenge, for top 4. So it's one of those games where now there's no such thing as a game that means nothing. Every game now, if you're in that top 4 battle, if you're in the relegation scrap, If you're in Europe or EPCR Cup, you can't afford to
And
slip up
nothing's
now.
decided, which is nice. Often at this stage of the season, you kind of know the champion. You know maybe who's getting relegated. There's a top 4 race. I guess it's mostly between 2 teams. Maybe Man United can bring themselves into that conversation. Relegation battle is still wide open, and there's a 3-way charge for the Premier League. So it means that almost all games there, as you said, there's something to be played for, which is just exactly what you want and what you love about this part of the season. But Stevie, let's get into the cricket, and it's been another week of IPL. We are only 16 games into a total of 74. We were just discussing before this. I mean, it is just a monster of a tournament. There's just so much cricket. But don't worry, we understand that you lot can't always keep up with that. So you have Stevie and I just to give you a recount of kind of what's happening over the lay of the land of the IPL. And who's doing what. Just a quick snapshot of the standings at the moment. Rajasthan Royals are 3 from 3 sitting at the top with KKR, who are having only played 2 but sitting in second position. Every other team having taken at least 1 loss. And then right at the bottom, you have Mumbai Indians doing a classic start to the season that they do every single year, and taking a couple losses. So they're 0 from 3.
It's
a lot of drama there with Hardik Pandya taking the reins from Rohit Sharma, getting
terrible
booed in
captain.
the stadium. Just a bit of a toxic environment going on.
Right, hello everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It is Champions Cup playoff time, and it is the Bulls taking on Lou Rugby, Lyon, in this clash. Round of 16 clash, by the way, and the winner will progress to the quarterfinals. And so a big opportunity for the Bulls to try and get themselves into the next round. And this is the side that they have beaten. Just by the way, some late team news over here. Whitelock here has been ruled out with injury. JF Van Heerden is coming to the starting lineup, and Janko Swanepoel on the bench at 19. So it's literally getting that feedback right now directly from the Bulls. So we're going to go through the lineups in just a second, but a massive opportunity this for the Bulls. Again, as I mentioned, this is a side they have beaten this season, and will fancy themselves to get the job done once again. And from a South African perspective, watch out for Thakia Abrahams, who is in the side today at full back for Lyon. We'll go through some of the sides, look at some of the players to watch out for. Monty Awani, one of the players for Lyon to watch out for. But busy just trying to watch the final starts of, or final moments of the women's side, the women's South Africa side, 7 side, against Great Britain. They lead by 1 point. Also, they trail by 1 point, so it's a pretty big opportunity this for them. But we are about to have kickoff, so I have to go and check out exactly if they managed to score there. But right, let's go through the team, shall we? For the Bulls, it's Currie Camp, Jan Krobelaar, Wilco Low, Ruan van Mark, JF Van Heerden, Marcel Gutsia, Renard Ludwig, Albert Low in the pack. In Rose appear Parties, Jan Koos, Kurt Lawrence, David Creel, Kenny Moody, Sebastian Clark, and Willie LaRue do complete the starting 15, as we do have kickoff going down that right-hand side there at Loftus Festival. Paddy Jackson from Lyon makes the clearance. Off the bench for the Bulls, it will be Aka van der Merwe, St-Pierre Tanzima, Mornay Smith, Nizam Kars, that Bergen, Chris Smith, as well as Devin Williams. Taken quickly there, by the way, have the Bulls. Rose appear now going to the left-hand side for Ruan van Mark's first carry of the match. Expect to see plenty more from him in the number 4 jersey. Now prepare going to Willie LaRue. Chip over the top. Not the best chip, by the way. It's been snatched up, I think, by Becca Saganadze. Now opportunity for Lyon to try and hit the Bulls on the counter-attack there. And it kicks through. And there is Thakia Abrahams, the former Sharks wing, at fullback today, still in that signature scrum cap, and he's caught Jan Koos on the ball. Good cleaning that from the Bulls there to retain that possession. Marcel Gutsia coming away with that ball, but Bulls all the way back inside their own half. And a bit of pressure early on, but Jan Krobelaar now will look to try and put them on the front foot. High up in the air, and it comes off for Kurt Lawrence, falls to Alfred Parisian. So Lyon now playing all the way, playing in the white kit on the halfway line. Big tackle that. Good physicality being shown by the Bulls. Out on the left-hand side, bit of a fumble. That looks like it's gone forward. I think we will have our first scrum of the day. Backwards is the call from the referee. I think that's a pretty bizarre call. I'm not quite sure how you can consider that backwards. But the ball eventually is available for Martin Page Reload on the right-hand side. Not too many options there. And Thackeray Abrams' kick is actually charged down. And Jan Krobelar's jumped onto it. Into the 22 goes Jan Krobelar, but there was a knock-on in the build-up. And we'll go back for a scrum. Let's go through this Lyon side, shall we? In the front row, it is Vivian Devismi, Guillaume Marchand, Palotov Fili in the front row. Theo William, Lon Goujon in the second row. Marvin Okuya, Becca Saganadze, and Jordan Tafua. And the back row there, Martin Page, Rulo, Will Parler, Paddy Jackson, halfback Perry, Italian star wing, Monty Awani in one wing, Xavier Mignot on the other wing, Thackeray Abrams at fullback. In the midfield for Lyon, it is Carl Godwin and Alfred Parisian. Off the bench from the men from France, it is Yana Chokes, Dema Bamba, Jonathan Marlowe, Michael Julliard, Honor Boot, former Bulls player, Maxime Guzu, Ethan Demotier, nice player, and then Liam Rumey. So some nice star power off the bench for Lyon. Carl Godwin as well, player to watch. Zimbabwean born, represented Australia. I think he managed to notch up, I think there's only 1-2 caps for him. Played at Australia youth levels though. And a solid scrum there for Lyon, and it's kicked ahead by Montiawani. And gathered by Vrilleroo. Vrilleroo goes to Kurt Lawrence. Kurt Lawrence, not too many options. Searching for them. Vrilleroo. Short pass there to Jan Goosen, and has been turned over by Lyon. Bulls guilty of not supporting the ball carrier, but there was a knock-on in trying to turn it over, so we're going to have another scrum here. Not a bad start just from the home side, and I think it's a game that the Bulls should be winning. I think if you look at the South African games over the weekend, I think that this is one of the more winnable ones. I think La Rochelle versus Stormers, I think will be a tough one for Stormers to try and win. And I think when it comes to Lions versus Benton, especially looking at the Lions side, very much not the favourites. But we'll keep an eye on what's happening over at the Cheetahs, by the way, because they're taking on Clermont. And opportunity for them to try and get into the quarterfinals. And then tomorrow, Sharks versus Zebra, that should be the most straightforward game, personally, I think, in terms of the South African team going through to those quarterfinals, which will take place next weekend. Conor Farrell saying Harlequins Glasgow was a tight one. Yeah, I mean Harlequins winning by 4 points, and very, very ballsy by Glasgow in that final, or after the final, Huta had gone, attempted the cross kick, and it almost really worked out. I think it was the right decision at the end, to be fair. I don't think Glasgow were really getting any sort of go-forward ball, so I don't think it was a bad option at all. Penalty wasn't really coming. Not much on, so they went for the spectacular. Didn't quite pay off, but worth a try. So scrum that, and the Bros Pierre goes to the right hand side to Jan Goosen. Now Kenan Moody playing the 13 jersey. Finds Sebastian de Klerk. Steps inside. I think quite highly rated the Sebastian de Klerk by Jake White. We've gone to the team quite quickly early on in the season. Now that's good hands, but a knock-on in the build-up, I think, from both teams there. It will be a Bulls scrum. Kenan Moody sporting a very short haircut. Playing in the number 13 jersey. No statement hunts at the moment for the Bulls. And his presence in the 13 frees up that number 14 jersey. They opted not to go at Devin Williams. He'll be coming off the bench, but he's a nice big X-Factor player who I'm sure will have a pretty big impact later on. We've got a poll running in the comments, by the way, asking who you think will win this game. Also, a big shout out to NPL, who are powering the stream. They are currently doing our Varsity Cup coverage, as well as our European coverage this weekend. By the way, the decision has been overturned. There was a penalty there which has been identified, and it will be a penalty for Lyon. Pretty taken there by Lyon as they arrive for the line out, and eventually falls to Page Reload. Good stuff this from Lyon. First of all, opportunity really to attack. Big carry there coming from Saganadze. Slow ball now for Page Reload. It's eventually available for him. He has to go for digging a little bit. Nice big hit there coming from our good fun and physicality. I think it's Devismi carrying that up. The loose head. Now on the right side. Inside ball from Paddy Jackson to Montiawani. Montiawani makes the breakthrough. It's a great offload. And a big carry coming. Looking for the offload once again. Lyon looking to keep the ball alive. Good hands. It's great hands, in fact. Theo William Goes and he finds Carl Godwin. Into the 22, Leon go. Really nice rugby that. Now the big man, Paul Tafili, goes the direct route, as you'd imagine a big tight head would. Big dummy there from Page. Really slightly caught on the ball though. And the ball has been turned over by the Bulls. Very good work that from the home side. Ambrose appears taking his time here. I think he'll ask for one more phase and then he'll probably go to the boot himself. With Low playing 8th man there, he'll just knock that one up. Lone Peter Gamedi on the bench here for the Bulls today. Ambrose Pierre goes to the boots. Won't find touch, Montiawani, but Sebastian Clerc managed to make the initial hit. Jan Kroblov follows up very well with it. But managed to get out there by Page Reload. Now another carry here from Saganadze. He's carried well so far for Lyon. He's his 3rd or 4th carry of the afternoon. Almost a bit of a 50-50 pass, yeah, and it eventually ends up with Marvin Koya. Page Reload taking it quickly, looking for options. Saganadze, Theo William, good hand so far. Paddy Jackson, long pass to Thaka William. Thaka Abrahams now. Thaka Abrahams almost through. Penalty advantage for Lyon. Quick ball, yeah. Oh, nice hands there. Okuya. Back inside. Oh, the hands here from Lyon. Montiawani now. Giving the offload away to Javismi. I tell you, this ends up being a try. And then a knock on there from the Bulls. Turnover ball here. And another knock on. I've actually got a Lyon shirt. Thought about wearing it actually. I thought a couple of Bulls fans would probably get a bit pissed off if I popped up my Lyon shirt. Maybe if Lyon are winning at half time, I'll go and change. We're on for the Bolts then. Go Bulls. Matthew Dixon saying hopefully Bulls won't be too sad when they get their ass handed to them. Yeah, look, I think that for me they've got to be winning this game. Home advantage, hot day here on the high field. That altitude will play a very, very big role. Lyon currently sitting 12th in the top 14, so they've won 9 out of 20 games so far this season, not having their best season. So Bulls very much favourites, need to play like it. A stacked game, afternoon of rugby ahead for us. We've got this game followed by Stormers versus La Rochelle, followed by Lions versus Benetton. At the moment, we've currently got Cheetahs versus Claremont happening as well. It's over on the channel as well, and Rudy is the man on duty there. Big shot coming. Work there from the Bulls. On the left-hand side, there goes Albert Lowe off the back of the scrum. Goes to Pierre, asking for a couple blockers. He wants to bring that ball all the way back to the back. Okay, from Hayden. Obliges. Now Ambrose Pierre goes to the boot. That's a phenomenal clearance. That is absolutely brilliant from Ambrose Pierre. He's put them back. I think it could almost be in their own half. Well, not in the halfway line. A fantastic clearance from a man who I think is playing some of the best rugby I've ever seen him play. I think it was Nas Buertu who was talking about him, saying that when he watched him at school, he thought that this guy was going to be the next big thing. And he reckons he wonders what would happen if he wasn't maybe in the team that wasn't so structured or so sort of tight with regards to sort of the game plan, was allowed to play a bit more of his sort of style of rugby, if things might have been a bit different for Ambrose Pierre. Good work there, and Jan Corson trying to rip the ball in the tackle, but unsuccessfully. Big carry off the back there, and it has been ripped in the tackle there by Richard Creel. Been a stalwart in the number 12 jersey all season. And I think this is actually then for now. It's a bit of a break here. Sebastian Clerc almost finding a bit of space. Eventually reeled in. Kurt Lawrence getting there. Kaden Moody operating at scrum half. Albert Lowe will go himself up the 10-meter line. Good work this from the Bulls. Ambrose Pierre, quick ball. Billy Louis at first receiver, flat. And Jan Corson leaves it behind. Billy Louis picks it up. Takes a touch off a Lyon player. And forward. So it should be a knock-on advantage. And almost through goes Reinhard Ludwig. Penalty advantage now for Bulls. And Bruce Pierre goes in a bit of a snipe. Gives it back to Reynard Ludwig, who made the initial break. And a high tackle. That's going to be another penalty advantage here for Lyon. I mean, for the Bulls. Kaden Moody. That's a horrible pass. That's an absolute shocker from Kaden Moody. I'll go back for the penalty. Goodness me, that was poor, though. Bit to be better from Kaden Moody. You're the World Cup winner now, mate. You've got, these expectations on your shoulders here. Predictions, Bulls by 4. I was actually I think I went Bulls by more than that in my... Actually, we didn't do the predictions. We didn't do the Bulls game for predictions. We did ours. I said Shell by 5, I think. And I think I did Lions. Just had to stick with my boys. That prediction there for the weekend. But Lions are playing their second team. Bit of a strange team selection from Ivan van Rooyen. Interesting to see they're obviously not really prioritising the Challenge Cup. Very good kick there. Bulls inside the 22 here. Opportunity here to try and open the scoring. Still 0-0 after the first 10 minutes here. David Creel in the midfield there. Strong carry from him. Now Bruce Pierre. Marcel Coetzee. Popping up to Reynard Ludwig. Solid carry from him. Penalty advantage there for the Bulls. Pops up to Albert Lowe. Good carry from him. Still penalty advantage. And they go to the back line. Jan Goosen to Villaroo. Villaroo. Long pass out wide. And there it is. I mean, it's how many more times do we have to see it? The assist king, Villaroo. Ball over the top to Sebastian de Klerk. Bulls open the scoring. And that's a really good start. Well, we'll try that from the home side. They had to be patient. They waited for the penalty advantage. They then ran their hands there. Straight to Villaroo. Long pass out to the right-hand side. Sebastian de Klerk, the beneficiary. And just, bang. Cut out pass right up against. And that's the thing, when you're playing with Villaroo, you can make sure you go and sit right up against the touchline and know that pass will find you. It did find Sebastian de Klerk. He goes over and the Bulls get the scoring going. And next is WhatsApp. So message rainy weather here in Pretoria. So I predict rain to come and play its part. It's pretty warm over here. I'm not in Pretoria. And Pretoria Secrets, it'll be close shave. Bulls win by 5. You're in front of Volt Reckons. Bulls 45, Lyon 18. And apparently also rain on the East Coast. First kick of the game for Jan Goosen, who has one of the top kicking rates on the South Africans. And that's why it's a great kick from him. He splits the pole, 7 points to 0. What a start that is for the Bulls here. It's taken a bit of time to get going, but a great opening try. Villaroo at his absolute best. This is why you pay the big money for him. Passes like that. Literally moments like that. That's why you have him. Right, so as we did a 15-point margin, Paddy Jackson gets things back underway. Going to the left-hand side here. That's been left for Reynard Ludwig, who wants to emulate the feats of Piestev the Toy. Apparently that's somebody who really looks up to the regards to how he wants to play the game. And if that's what you want to model yourself on, then there are definitely a few better players. Look at it. Bruce Pierre sniping. Brings in Jan Goosen. Jan Goosen popping up. Albert Lowe. Then wrapping around. This is good hands from the Bulls. Very, very good hands. Oh, I should have played the hands there, David Creel. But having said that, look at the pace on Currie Lawrence. So he's left the ball behind. Kaden Moody's come away with it, but it was a knock-on. Not convinced the kick was the right option there. David Creel had basically a 3-on-1 situation. Draw and pass, and Currie Lawrence and Kaden Moody could have been away down that left-hand side. Yeah, I don't think that was the right option there. Nah, I don't think you should have gone to the booth there. I just popped it. I think just pop it to the left there. You've got numbers there. It was literally just Paddy Jackson. There was 3 of them. So just draw him, pop to Currie Lawrence. Him and Kaden Moody would have done the rest. It's a scrum inside the 22. Look, to be fair, the ball did pop up and Currie couldn't gather. Had he gathered, I think it would have been a sure try. So it would have worked had he gathered, but I just think the easier option would have just been to have just played the hands there. Had the overlap, had the pace. Could have been pretty straightforward, but wasn't. Penalty advantage here. There's the penalty. Right, penalty at scrum time there, and I think it's against Gerard Steenekamp. So first scrum penalty of the day going against the Bulls. Stephen Lover saying that Leon needs to wake up. Victoria Secret saying, thanks, Steve. Excited to hear Kitsop has signed up for 2 years with the Stormers. Matthew Dixon saying, not going to lie, maybe my prediction was too conservative. And Orchid saying, Stormers supporters here that is rooting for Leon. Interesting concept. No love lost between Stormers and Bulls fans, apparently. He's saying, will you be covering the Stormers game? I will indeed. Coming up at 4 o'clock. Coverage of that will start in about an hour's time, just over an hour's time at 3 o'clock. A bit of build up, and we will literally go from this game straight into that game, straight into Lions versus Bench. I want to see what's happening with the Cheetahs over in the Challenge Cup. It's very cool to see them go through over there. Currently playing against Claremont. They're down 7 points to 3. They are on the scoreboard, which is a good start for the Cheetahs. And Ruben saying, Leon, you did manage to beat the Bulls twice, make it 3 times today. Vidal saying, nice graphics. The extra effort with the map really makes the stream much better streaming from the US. Well, glad that you're enjoying it. Yeah, we always try and make it as better as possible. Try and give you guys as much information as we obviously legally can. And so, yeah, that's what we... Hopefully that map helps you a little bit along with the scoreboard and stuff. So, thank you. I appreciate the feedback. Scrum here for the Bulls. Looking to really milk that penalty. I've been told to use it. Ambrose Pierre goes... And now you're getting moody. That's a great offload to Jan Koos. To Billy LaRue, sorry. Billy LaRue's been caught on the ball. Lost it forward in the tackle. And now been lost forward by Leon. They'll go back for the initial knockout. Billy LaRue, I think, about to play that the pop-off to Sebastian de Klerk. Then the tackle came as he was looking to do that. So just lodging the ball in the contact. You can see, literally, I think, as he was about to make that pass, the tackle came. It's a very good tackle in Billy LaRue. But Bulls look promising with ball in hand here. So if they can keep that up, then I reckon they could look to score quite a few tries here. Sean saying, not surprised that once the head coach left for Ulster and CEO, things are going to go up, going to go down. Look, I don't think it's a bad thing that Kitsop is leaving Ulster. I think it frees up a lot of ways. I think it's a move that suits a lot of people. Spent a few months in Belfast over there, so it would have been a nice experience for him. But we're back at the scrum here. Bulls probably had a bit of a hit earlier in the earlier scrum, so they'll be looking to try and build from that. However, Leon do have the only scrum penalty of the game. And on the right-hand side they go. Godwin shows and goes himself. Tackle coming from David Creel's opposite number. Now back to Paddy Jackson. Goes to the boot. LaRue uses that left boot of his. Looks to try and find touch. Oh, that's a brilliant... In fact, has it on touch? I think it looked like it bounced on the line, but it's actually bounced back inside. All the way back inside the 22. Paddy Jackson will reply. He will find touch, and the Bulls will have a line out, I think, just inside Leon territory. So it's worked out pretty well for the Bulls in the end. Good territory battle there from Billy LaRue. He's having a good effect on the game so far. Really showing his value, especially with that try assist. One of the most typical Billy LaRue try assists you'll see. All over the top of Jan Krobler. That's not the best line at all. It's not forward though. Currie Lawrence has come away with it. Currie Lawrence got up in space. Brings it to Ambrose Pierre. Ambrose Pierre is going to go all the way. He's in the form of his life, and I tell you what, he's probably must be one of the top scoring scrum-offs in World Rugby at the moment, because he just knows his way around that try line. Bulls are over once again. A messy line out, a knock-on from Lyon. Kurt Lawrence picking it up, drawing one player, inside ball to Ambrose Pierre, who had the pace, and the solid start for the Bulls gets even better. You can just see there the knock-on from William, and then pops to Kurt Lawrence, so only had one defender to beat, and he just drew him and popped it inside to Ambrose Pierre. Thackeray Abrahams was desperately trying to cover some ground and get across to make the tackle, but unfortunately, there was just too much ground for him to cover. And Ambrose Pierre goes there for the Bulls second. It should be pretty straightforward for Jan Goosen. This should be Bulls 14 points to 0 after 21 minutes. 97 points in the Champions Cup, make that 99 for Johan Goosen. Ambrose Pierre, he was controversially, I will say controversially left out of that Springbok alignment camp, is very much continuing to give the Bok coaches something to think about. Orchard saying, as a Bull, I want to see the Stormers versus Leinster in the quarters, but first they must get past La Rochelle. Matthew Dix says, if I was a Lyon supporter, I'd look for something else to watch. But 14 points to 0, solid start from the home side. And the important thing, I think, from them is to not take the foot off the pedal. Looking to try and continue building. Obviously, this is playoff rugby, so you don't have to worry about things like bonus points. More about just keeping the scoreboard ticking and keeping yourself in charge. Jan Goosen looking to clear. Will find touch. Not his best clearance. Did look like it kind of sort of skewed off the side of his boot a little bit. But now, I mean, it's about taking points on offer, isn't it? You get a penalty inside Lyon territory, you take the points, take the 3. You just keep building that lead. And I was about to go check the brackets to see who plays who and where. Had it somewhere in terms of the way it all sort of matches up. Has already been done with regards to the sort of path to the final. Here it is. Road to the final for the Champions Cup. The Bulls will face the winner of Northampton and Munster. And they are a higher ranked side than Munster. So if Munster were to win, it'll be a home quarterfinal for the Bulls. If Stormers are to have a home quarterfinal, they need Leicester to beat Leinster. If they do get that home quarterfinal, I'll actually be in Cape Town. So if they could actually do that, it'd be great. Another knock on this from Lyon. So Preno Boya for the Bulls. Looked like a bit of a crop goal almost on Marcel Garcia. So no advantage there. They'll go back for the scrum. Lyon just making far too many errors at the moment. Far too many knock-ons. They looked pretty good with ball in hand. They've had some nice offloads, but struggling to build momentum with some poor handling. Right, so in terms of the road to the final, so Bulls could meet Stormers. They're on the same side of the draw, so is there a chance of them meeting in a final? They could meet in a semi-final. So Stormers playing against La Rochelle. The winner of that will take on the winner of Leinster versus Leicester. Then Bulls taking on Lyon. The winner will take on Northampton or Munster. If Northampton win, however, it'll be a away game for the Bulls. On the other side of the draw, though, we've already seen Glasgow being knocked out by Harlequins. They were low ranked, and the Harlequins had to leave it quite late. And so they'll be Harlequins will face the winner of Bordeaux or Saracens. And on the other side of the draw, Toulouse versus Racing. This afternoon, Exeter versus Bath. Those are the draws there. A little chip over the top of the back of the scrum. Turnover ball here. Paige Wheeler going in, taking it into contact. Almost being held up, actually. I think there was a knock-on advantage. Maul is the call. So now it's available there for Lyon. And it uses it does Jordan Tafua. Now Thackeray Abrahams. Currie looking to get over that ball. Available for Paige Reload. He finds Montiawani. Great player, Montiawani. I was lucky enough to watch him live at the World Cup. Paige looking for options, and good pressure being applied by Ruan from Mark on his opposite number. Ball comes loose though. A knock-on advantage for Lyon. And eventually available for Paige Reload. Really slow ball this time, and it's the prop, Vivian Devisme. Carries it into contact. Paddy Jackson back in the pocket there. Taking a long time once again. It eventually does go to Jackson. A little chip over the top for Montiawani to chase. Well read in the end by Creel. Gives it away. It's a great pick up that from Villy Leroux. Villy Leroux looking for options. Goes inside, but it's been intercepted. And then tackled well by Currie and Bruce Appear there to clean up. Now Bruce Appear looking to try and set up a counter attack. Kane and Moody with a bit of space. Ball back inside. Straight into the hands of Paulo Tafili. And that's eventually knocked forward. Good tackle coming from Ulrich Low. I mean, at the moment, that was just a hot potato rugby. Everybody just throwing the ball around, not really minding where it goes. So it'll eventually be a Bulls scrum. If you look at the Challenge Cup, by the way, which obviously we've got 3 teams in, it is the Cheetahs taking on Clermont, and the winner of that will take on the winner of Montpellier versus Ulster. On the same side of the draw, it is Sharks versus Palmer, Zebre, and the winner of that will take on Edinburgh and Bernay. And by the way, Sharks are ranked 1, are seeded 1 in that draw, so they will have a home quarter and a home semi if they get that far. The other side of the draw features Gloucester versus Castres. Winner of that will take on Ospreys or Sharks. And then it's Benton versus the Lions, and the winner of that will take on Powell or Connacht. Lions ranked quite low there, so no opportunity for them really to have a home quarter, maybe a home semi if Castres were to go through as well as Lions, ranked 14th there. Right, so go on, Leon. Bulls and Stormers out today would make my day as a Sharks fan. Careful what you wish for. The Sharks wouldn't surprise me. They would lose to Leon, to Zebra tomorrow, and come crashing out of the Challenge Cup. I think the Sharks should be favourite to win that competition, but you never know when it comes to that union. David Creel, short ball to Caden Moody. Caden Moody straight down the middle. Caden Moody needs a bit of help. He's just putting crack on the afterbird. It's a good tackle. He looking for options. Support does arrive, and he eventually pops up to you. Ambrose Perry pops it short to Marcel Katsia, who's gone over and got grounding. That's a great try. Caden Moody at his absolute best. What an offload that was for Creel to put him into a bit of space. And that's the captain, Marcel Katsia, who finishes the job. Bulls absolutely flying over in Loftus. That's 5 tries in the Champions Cup for Marcel Katsia. What a player he is. Absolute legend of the game. Quickly becoming a bit of a Bulls legend. But that's a nice little offload there. Creel there to Kane Moody. Kane Moody just really sort of going with the pace. Good tackle coming across from Xavier Mino, but doing very well there, Kane Moody, just to slow things down. Pop up to Brosa Pierre, just pops it short to Marcel Katsia. With the Leon defense backtracking, he was always going to have the physicality, and bang, over he goes. Well, Bulls flying. Leon a little bit shell-shocked at the moment. Not even half an hour, and the Bulls set to be 21 points to 0 up. This is kind of the game I expected. I expected the Bulls to dominate this one side. They've not been fantastic, and they're playing in South Africa in hot conditions against a rampant Bulls side who know how to score points. So I wouldn't say it was inevitable, but I wouldn't say I'm surprised. I do think for Bantam I could put on a Leon shirt and see if anybody abuses me for stuff. I bet I've got one. I might as well wear it. Right, Renard Ludwig. They are actually my French team, to be fair. Decided that after I went over there. I've also got, I think, what other shirt I've got? I've got a Racing shirt, and that's only for Celia Khaleesi. The Lou Rugby setup is so cool. Oh my goodness, Sebastian de Klerk's hammered Thakir Abrams. Bit of a reminder, welcome back to South Africa, mate. But they do have retained possession. You have Leon and Montiawani coming away. They're doing very well. Now, another big carry there from Vivian de Vismy. Lou says put in some good work so far this game. Now puts his head down and goes Theo William. From Page Relo. And a bit of space. All of a sudden, Paddy Jackson's got Thakir Abrams inside him. Thakir Abrams, if he gets half a gap, he'll take it. He is. And it's a high tackle from Billy LaRue. I wonder if that might not be looked at as a potential penalty try. But they're right on the doorstep here. Another big carry from Becca Shaganidze. Now, Carl Godwin, Zimbabwean born number 12. On the doorstep here, oh, Leon, look, he's trying to hit back. Just short here, Leon. Still a penalty advantage for that high tackle on Thakir Abrams. Advantage for offside. New advantage here for Leon. And the whistle does go. So Cheese versus Clement, by the way, is also at the half an hour mark. It is 10 points to 3 moment there. So just hanging on, but trying to score some points. I was considering having a conversation with the referee. I don't think Lee Pierce is very interested in what he has to say. Try does stand. As Paige Relo went over, by the way. A quick tap and over the top. I mean, that's fair enough, really. Not entirely sure what Moscow Seals complaining about that. Paige Relo. Nobody in front of him. Bulls lazy. Everything will figure in. I even missed that. Right, 7 points to 21. It's good work there from Lyon to hit back. They needed to score, really. If they hadn't scored, then going on 21-0, then could have been a long game for them. Montiawani, he's been a good catalyst so far. Nice work from him off the kickoff. One of those Italian stars, part of a really good Italian side, which is starting to build towards bigger things, and he's a very big part of that. Paddy Jackson will not find touch down the throat of Billy goes inside to Jan Goosen. Jan Goosen looking at options. And go himself here as Jan Goosen. And beats one defender. Is eventually brought down. He's got Gerard come for company there, so he'll clean out. Varsity goes down the right hand side to run for Mark. Pops it short. Jan Krobler. Good work that by Jan Krobler. Penalty advantage as well. Gerard a bit of space. Runs into Talafihi. Now I'll chip over the top for round Ludwig to chase, but he's never really going to outpace Thackeray Abrahams, is he? And the whistle does go for a Bulls penalty. Just less than 8 minutes left in the half. At the moment, Bulls very much in charge. Lyon have just hit back, but Bulls looking to try and nullify that very quickly. Going for the corner here, Bulls. I think sends him a bit of momentum, which I think is probably the good decision to make. The sponsor wanted me to take the points here, but when you've got a bit of momentum, maybe not the worst idea to try and look for that full Monte, really. Back of the line there, down to Ulrich Low. Ulrich Low looking to build up a bit of steam. Just short as Ulrich Low. Looking for a quick ball here around Ludwig. Popping it up to Ruan van Mark. Ruan van Mark, that's a huge hit. Has he got grounding, though? Yeah, he does. He does. That is a training ground move that from the Bulls. And I tell you what, Ruan van Mark is deceptively physical. And he's just hammered home. A bit of support back on the shoulder. What a try that is for him. I really rate Ruan van Mark. I think so does Jake White, to be fair. Took him a while to start getting going. But that's the second try in the Champions Cup. And the Bulls threatening to run right in Loftus. But it's just the quick ball there. It's the speed and the accuracy. That move there. I think it's Moscow City. You can just see sits down onto Iwani. Bang. Straight over goes Ruan van Mark. And Bulls with their fourth try. If it was a group stage again, there would be the bonus point. And Jan Goosen making no mistake there. So not even 35 points, 35 minutes in, the Bulls have brought up the 28-point margin. 50 could be on the cards here. I personally think Jake White would take a 28.7 victory, as long as it is a victory. It is playoff rugby at the end of the day. So 5 minutes left, and I think if they go into the half with this momentum, I don't really see how Lyon come back. Down the left-hand side goes Paddy Jackson. Once again, it's pretty deep, and Ray Ludwig right up against the touchline. Steps inside, or steps outside, actually, was opposite number. Does very well there, does the young flank. Recipe now going to JF Van Heerden. A late addition to the side came in for the injured Ruan Nokia. As a result, Janko Swanepoel finds himself on the bench. Now Jan Goosen will go to the boot. And finds a very good touch finder. Brad reckoning that Lyon will come back to win 29 points to 28. I'd be impressed. A lot of different things will probably have to happen for that to be the case. But hey, you never know. Rugby's a strange game. Work there from Lyon. Bit of a juggle there from Page. Really looking for options. Goes to Carl Godwin. Good tackle down by Jan Krobelok coming through, putting them all the way back in their own 10-meter line. Trying to keep them behind the advantage line here are the Bulls and Paddy Jackson. No, a little chip over the top from Page Wheeler from Montiawani to chase. Well picked up though from Sebastian de Klerk. He then pops it up to Reynard Ludwig. Pops it out. It's a little knockout there from the try scorer, Ruan for Mark. It'll be a Lyon scrum with just under 4 minutes to go. I think he was really expecting that was Ruan for Mark. Although a bit of a shake of the head. I think he thinks he should have done better. Probably should have done better. Wasn't the worst pass. Right, so scrum just before the halfway line here for Lyon. They've got 3 minutes to try and make something happen. If they score another one at 14 points down, unlikely, but could still potentially be in the game if they don't score before half time. I think that Bulls should have enough from this. They've already got a 21-point lead. And if you throw away a 21-point lead, well, it takes something quite special to be able to do that. Available, very solid scrum there. And a bit of a set move there. And I don't even think he tried to tackle him. Montiano just run into Pierre. Turn over the ball now. Now, something could be on you. And Kenny Moody's gone to the boot there. Tucker Abrams going back, but has spilled it, left it behind. All backwards, apparently. Now it's come away from Tucker Abrams. Got good pace. Finds the offload and cuts inside, does Alfred Parisian. So good work there from Lyon. Not sure, once again, that Kenny Moody option to go to the boot was the right one. Big counter coming from the Bulls, by the way. And it does fall back the Bulls side. Rosa Pierre eventually managed to get the pass away to Jan Goossen. He's looking for options. Then chip and chase. He's got Kenny Moody with them. Both of them have been blocked. But I think it was just a lot of traffic there. Montiawani, he's completely done Kenny Moody there. Bit of a goosey there, proving too much for the Bulls youngster. Now, nice solid hit there. Almost just taking a knee was Lyon Goujon. But I think it was actually Gordon Taufua. Very, very slow boy. Paige Relo is searching for it, but not getting much success at the moment. Eventually manages to find the ball and goes to the boot, looking for touch. Will not find it. Right against touchline, Villaroo. It's knocked forward by him. So it'll be a Lyon scrum. That far right-hand side, just behind the 10-meter line. Good kick, actually, in the end there from Paige Relo, right up against the touchline. So as soon as he was catching it, Villaroo was trying to get it back inside. We're just looking at that little step. Oh, my goodness. And he's put Kenny Moody on the floor. Kenny Moody's left crawling. Oh, no. Yeah, it was dirty. Dirty from Arnie on Kenny Moody. Kenny Moody was literally left on all fours. Oh, dear. Good players, Martin Page, Relo. French born, so he's played in France, I think my career's father, no? Was at Toulouse for 3 years. Yeah, then he was on loan. Now he's at Lyon. Yeah, so has played for, played in France, was born in France, but plays international rugby for, made his debut last year. Very talented player. That him, Stephen Varney, and Alessandro Garbizzi, all of them are quite young. Going to be playing in those Italian shirts for a long time to come. Right, the clock's gone red. Huge come that from the Bulls. Doing well to get it out there. Lyon. Now Goodwin. That's a great inside for Martin Page Relo. He's looking for options. He needs a bit of support. He finds it in the form of Parisian. Relo gets it up. Oh, he's lost it forward. It's a good tackle there from Kurt Lyon. So that'll be the half. There's almost a brilliant counter attack from Lyon. They've shown in glimpses what they can do. There's definitely a bit of excitement about them. Just not been able to be accurate. I'll tell you what, I think if Page Relo had managed to get that offload away, then Bulls were scrambling there. But it's a great little inside ball there from Godwin. It just checks the run of Ambrosia Pierre for getting away to Page Relo. Shows really good pace here. Good support play from Parisian. The tackle comes from Leroux. And then Page Relo looking to use it quickly. And that was almost a bit of sevens really from Kurt Lyon. So he just made the dive to make the tackle. That is half time, by the way. Bulls a 21-point lead. Lyon have shown at times what they can do, but generally haven't quite been good enough to really compete with Bulls. We're going to go into a halftime break, and we'll see you guys afterwards. So please do not go away. If you are new, by the way, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. And we will see you guys in about 10 minutes. A big shout out to MPL. You're going to hear a bit more about them. They are powering our streams this weekend. But don't just take my word for what they all do. Listen to them themselves.
Hello and welcome, my name is Reese and today I'm going to be speaking to you about one of our channel partners, Bitdefender. Forever Sports is proudly supported by Bitdefender, one of the global leaders in cybersecurity. Stay safe with the most consistently top-rated antivirus of the last 10 years and counting. To protect yourself from cyber attacks, protect your browsing and personal information, and so much more, get Bitdefender. With Bitdefender's premium VPN, digital privacy and freedom is as easy as flicking on a light switch. Bank, stream, and download without exposing a single byte of personal information. Unblock your favorite streaming sites and get access to content that you want to watch on up to 10 devices today. Effective, invisible, and amazingly affordable. Use the link in the description to get started. Hello everyone and welcome to Forever Sports. As one of the leading channels in the world providing free coverage of all of your favourite sports, we are asking for your support. Everything that we create at Forever Sports is available for free and always will be. To help us continue delivering high quality content, as well as expanding our coverage, we are asking you to consider supporting the channel by becoming a channel member. As part of the Forever Sports Members Club, you will gain access to select perks, such as exclusive stickers and emojis to use during our watch-alongs and live streams. You will also gain early access to premium content, as well as have your name listed on the channel under channel members. We strive to deliver quality content that is unmatched by other channels, and are always looking to take things up another level. And our members give us the chance to do this. It is thanks to our members and other support that we get from our fans that we are able to deliver campaigns such as the France 2023 on the ground coverage. So if you would like to continue supporting the channel and the free coverage that it provides, be sure to check the link in the description to become Hello and welcome, my name is Reese and today I'm going to be speaking to you about one of our channel partners, Bitdefender. Forever Sports is proudly supported by Bitdefender, one of the global leaders in cybersecurity. Stay safe with the most consistently top-rated antivirus of the last 10 years and counting. To protect yourself from cyber attacks, protect your browsing and personal information, and so much more, get Bitdefender. With Bitdefender's premium VPN, digital privacy and freedom is as easy as flicking on a light switch. Bank, stream, and download without exposing a single byte of personal information. Unblock your favorite streaming sites and get access to content that you want to watch on up to 10 devices today. Effective, invisible, and amazingly affordable. Use the link in the description to get started.
Right, and we're back for the second half, and Bulls leading Lyon 28 points to 7. Look what I found! A bit of a memento from when I was over at Lou Rugby, and I mean, this apparently might be the last time I get to actually try and wear it on the streams. I thought I would, just for shits and giggles, but what a cool little setup it is over there at Lou Rugby. A whole little sort of academy type vibe. They've got like a whole like mega club store, and then a massive like open area, which apparently just becomes a massive jaw. After games. So it's a very, very cool setup. So anyway, they're not doing very well here on Lou Rugby. They're currently down 28 points to 7 against the Bulls, who were very good in that first half. And we're looking to try and see things off now in the second half as they look to try and book their spot in the quarterfinals of the Champions Cup. And moment, yeah, I think bar a disaster should do that pretty comfortably over the next 40 minutes before we will then have action down in Cape Town, with the Stormers hosting the current champions La Rochelle. And kicking over there from Varsity has gone back to Albert Lowe. It's left behind by Harris Seneca. Well picked up by Ron from Mark, who's been dumped in the tackle, but does manage to hold on. Scored a try in the first half, did Ron from Mark. Now Biluru had a very nice try assist in the first half. Give it to Kanan Moody, who had also had a very nice moment, which resulted in Marcel Kutsia going over. So a lot of the Bulls players chipping in the first half. Let's see what they can conjure up in the second. Bad news, by the way, if you're a Cheetah supporter, Clermont have gone up to 22 points to 3, scoring 2 tries at the first half. So not looking good for the Cheetahs to progress, but their second counterparts, Bulls, very much in charge at Loftus, and I think altitude will become a thing very quickly. But it's a bit of a replacement here, by the way. By Lou. So it looks like Martin Page-Wheeler's gone off, which must be an injury because I thought he was having a very good half. Seemed to be injured at the end of that first half. So a bit of a strange one there at the moment. Now, so Petty Jack's kicking behind there. So Liam Brennan is on. Trying to work out what will happen to Martin Page. Old Jeremy is on, but it must be an injury to Martin Page-Wheeler. He looked absolutely fine at the end of the half. Interesting decision anyway. But that is the first placement of the day. And Paddy Jacks goes on the left-hand side to Montiwani. Had a very good first half. He has his arms to the tackles as well. Now Parisian, that's a nice solid K. Finding himself on the wing. Montiwani. Good hands, good hands. I've been very impressed by the handling from Lyon so far in this game, especially in certain passages where they've been really, really good. Starting to keep hold on to the ball there to Guillaume Marchand. Jackson goes to the boot there. Bit of a tester for Jan Goosen. He's hammered in the tackle. And they've turned the ball over there. Very, very good work that is from Xavier Minno. Oh, and the ball's coming loose there. Picked up by Rime. Popping up to Godwin. Straightens. Very good work this from Leon early on. Good hands. Paddy Jackson. A long pass out towards Theo William. Gets the offload away to, I think it's Parisian. It is Parisian. Gets his knees down to the ground. Slick handling at the moment from Leon on the front foot. And a penalty as well for them. I think go to the corner. Well, you have to go to the corner, don't you? But when they've had the ball, when they've attacked, I've been very impressed with what I've seen from Leon. A bit more of that. And Albert Lowe getting his timing wrong, coming through and playing the scrum off. So a bit poor from that. But an opportunity here for Lyon on the 5-meter line to try and get the score rolling in the second half. If they are to stand a chance, they do need to score next. There's no doubt about that. Does he not play it in the line out there? Theo Williams left that behind. I think that's been knocked forward as been carried over the back of the line out there. I think that is that Berger who looks like he's come on. No, Sebastian de Klerk who was. Not so. It looked like I didn't think that's that Berger come on. I was about to say he just found himself in the smart position. So. Right, so 5-meter scrum here, and it will be, I think it'll be a Lyon ball. There's Lyon ball, so held up is the call there. I thought there might have been a knock on in the lineup, but apparently not. But the Bulls played at home, if they only win by 40 points. No, it doesn't matter how many points they win by. It all depends on who wins the other fixtures. It's all about a seeding system. So if a team that is seeded lower than you going into the playoffs They win their clash, then the Bulls will get a home quarterfinal rather. We'll get there in the end. So they are playing against the winners of Northampton and Munster. Northampton are seeded higher, and so if they were to win, then it will be a quarterfinal over in the UK. Otherwise, if Munster win, then the Munster would have to come travel down to South Africa. So I was low off the back of the scrum. It was a Bull scrum, by the way. There was an initial knock on. Varsity taking his time here. Varsity goes to the boot, looking for touch. Will find touch. Not maybe his best touch finder, but they do exit their 22. Lyon still on the front foot here, though. 4 tries to 1 at the moment. Now comes a replacement, and Juilliard is on for Goujon. The replacement in the second row there. And I have to try and find out on just why Page Reload has left the park. Kane Moody now. It's a good carry from him. Monty Ioane finds a bit of space on the left-hand side. And he circles Sebastian de Klerk. This is brilliant from Monty Ioane. Needs support. Puts in the chip. Down the right-hand side. And on the bus. Oh, my word. It's in a high tackle. I'll tell you what. They might have to have a look at that, though. Caden Moody is completely clotheslined. That was Page Reload. It must have been an HIA. He's back on the park. This is almost a brilliant try. Caden Moody's either made a try-saving tackle here or potentially conceded a penalty try. I think this is a high tackle just from the way, and he's asked the question here. I think this is a clothesline tackle. I think Kenny Moody might have just conceded a penalty try there. We don't say why Lyon shirt, why not Bulls? Well, first of all, I've never owned a Bull shirt, nor will I ever own a Bull shirt. Not an option for me. Whereas Lyon are actually my adopted French team. So it's a pickup there, and then yeah, I guess pretty high, unfortunately. I think this could be penalty try time here for Lyon. I'll hear what the referee has to say. Yeah, it's around the shoulder there, around the neck. And I think he's going to score the try. So I think this is a penalty try. Potentially yellow card here for Kane and Moody. It's a penalty try and a yellow card to Kane and Moody. As expected, great chip over the top. And once Ioane there, who I've been talking about, waxing lyrical all day about, that's a red card. It's not quite that bad. Here, I'm going to get rid of that. Ioane with a proper show of pace there. Right, Bulls down to 14. Lyon with a try and a man advantage. A pretty easy decision there in the end. Albert saying Cheers are playing attractive rugby, but Clermont just sits back and score points with Cheers mistakes. Well, that is play of rugby, isn't it? You can play the best rugby in the world. If you're not scoring points, you're not going through. And as Brad says, they're going to strike back. Right, is the game yet alive? They were to score another one whilst the Bulls were down to 40 men. Then all of a sudden, it could be game on here. A break and play here. I think it's an injury to Paolo Tafili. They've got Jonathan Marlowe on the bench for him. Once is the call there. Back on the angle goes David Creel. Good work there from him. Important pair. This, by the way, Akafana onto the park for the Bulls. And that's Mornay Smith as well. So 2 replacements in the front row. Not sure if Kirsten is still on. Doesn't appear Matanzima just yet. Good work this from the Bulls though. Inside ball from Mornay Smith goes to JF and Hidden for Junior Bok. Listen, from Mark. Finding himself in the midfield. Good carry from him. I'm both appear down the right hand side. Mornay Smith, his first carry. Listen, looking for options. Going to Creel. Creel straight through the middle. Got Vinny LaRue for company. Vinny LaRue's going to go into the corner. That's the perfect response from the Bulls. Well, he's got to try assist. Now he's got to try. And just as Leon might have thought they might have had a sniff of getting back into the game, the Bulls have hit back. Points to 14. We're on to say Steve Bulls win. You have to buy a Bulls t-shirt for the next game. Yeah, 0 chance, mate. Zero chance. You never see me wearing a Bulls shirt. Today, you can try as much as you want. Ain't happening. I live this side of the XK. Up the Lions, up the lads. I could say, go Bulls, lift the tempo, play them hard, let them suck air through straws. Yeah, I think it's a very good description. The altitude which start to kick in. Missing the conversion there was Jan Goosen. So Leon, that's a bit of a sucker punch, isn't it? Then Mabamba on, by the way, for Tafili. Glad to be able to bring on in this sort of situation. Reminder the Bulls are down to 14 men. Right, Leon line on the 10-meter line. Way backside their own half. I think it's come off the numbers of the course. It's a free kick against the Bulls. Patriot is back on the park. I see it must have been an HIA. Maybe blood, but I didn't see any blood. So probably the HIA. But he's back on the park. As I said, I thought he had a good first half. So I was a bit surprised by that. But 33 points to 14 is where it remains. Paddy Jackson is going to go to the boot and lift it high in the air. It's going to be just outside the 22. It's very well weighted. Well taken by Albert Lowe. Good pressure on him. That's Demba Bumba looking to try and get involved. Now goes to Ruan for Mark. And Leon doing well, tackling behind the advantage line. Running back is Brosapir. Back in the pocket. Jan Kosimity goes himself, doesn't Brosapir. And that's straight into touch. And that was carried back, I'm pretty sure. That was outside the 22. How has that been allowed? It was clearly outside the 22. It was carried back, guys. How was that inside the 22? Huh? That was off a free kick, though. And he clearly caught outside the 22. Very confused. Yeah, well, Kyle Godwin finding a bit of space. Not the first time he has been good so far as the inside centre. Best de Klerk. Okay, Abrahams all over him though. Gives inside ball to Currie Arnson. Spins away from his defender very well. Currie Arnson finding a bit of space. Now looking to do a bit of Montiawani. Back on Leon. Comes back inside. Still goes Currie Arnson. Looking for options now. Pops up to Akafanamurva, the angry Warthog. And he's off. Back to Brosa Pierre. Brosa Pierre goes to Ulrich Lowe. So much space. Ulrich Lowe goes straight through the middle. Inside ball to Mornay Smith. The inside ball back to Gerard Stennekamp. I mean, the props are getting involved here. And Brosa Pierre going out of snipe. Stepping out. Brosa Pierre. Stop it. Stop it. That is too good. That is too good. Give him a Springbok jersey right now. He is in scintillating form as Brosa Pierre. Goodness me. I asked the question, how does he not make that alignment squad? And you watch him playing at the moment and you think he has to. He has to. Initial good work from Currie Arnson. Akafanamurva with the support play. Look at the props here busting a gut. Mornay Smith and Gerard Stennekamp getting involved. Bang, there it is to Ulrich Lowe. Straightens, bang inside to Mornay Smith. Mornay Smith got a bit of space. Bang inside to Gerard Stennekamp. Montiawani makes the tackle. And then Brosa Pierre so alive to it. And the Bulls, well, that brings them up to 40 points. So on the poll I asked, will the Bulls get more than 40 points? 90% of people saying yes. Well, they need just a singular point to do just that. What a season he's having though in Brosa Pierre. In the form of his life, really. Actually want to try and see how many tries he scored. 26 years old, by the way, as well as a reminder in terms of how young he is. That's a nice big moment. That's a bit, and they've won it both the kickoff there, Leon, and it's Arno Buerta back in the Republic. A couple of subs here. There goes Maxime Guzou. Inside ball to Thacker Abrahams, manhandled by David Currie, as you can't imagine. But they rolled the dice here, have Leon. They brought in a brand new front row. Mikael Gouliard, Arno Buerta, as well as Master. So they've gone with a whole new pack. And that's been charged down. And it's going to be a try for Thacker Abrahams on his return to South Africa. Leon will score a try against the run of play. Charged down by Paddy Jackson, converted by Thacker Abrahams. A bit of a mistake there. I think it's Billy LaRue who's been charged down here. Probably the first mistake he's made all day. But that has allowed Leon to score. Kick to come to put them back within 19 points. Still, by the way, a yellow card at the moment. Right, I'm going to have a look at Brosa Pierre here. Scored before this game, by the way, has scored 5 tries in 17 games. After this game, it'll be 7 tries in... Oh, no, I think that's actually... No, I think that's actually counting the... So that will be 7 tries in 17 games. I mean, that's a ridiculous return for a scrum off. More to the point, in 2024, he has scored 4 tries. That'll be 6 tries this year alone. How's that for a return? And that's left from Paddy Jackson. So the score remained 40 points to 19. Very difficult to claw back into a game when you miss those sort of kicks. Yeah, a bit of a poor one from Billy. They didn't have much space there. Good charge down. Thacker Abrahams finishes the rest. But back to a full contingent. Kane Moody back on the park for the Bulls. So in that time that he left, Bulls was obviously a penalty try. So Leon has scored 2. Bulls have scored 2. So not really much has changed. That was a 21-point lead. Does remain. Was the case when he went off. Nothing really too bad there for Kane Moody. Big chase that on Montiawani. He spills the ball backwards. And it's a good counter-ruck from the Bulls. And Desperate trying to get that ball as Page reload. And a penalty for the Bulls for hands in the ruck. Probably could have gone either way, to be honest. But it's gone against Lyon. So Bulls will have a penalty inside the 22. And just like they did last time, opportunity to try and respond immediately with a potential try of their own. Tap and go, yeah, for the Bulls. Albert Lowe. Good defense, though. The initial hit from Lyon. Orange offside, yeah, for the Bulls. So free roll the dice here for them. And Bruce Appear waiting for options. He's Pierre Matanzima. Looks like he tried to get the offload away, and then Johan Kursen fills it and looks up, and so they'll go back for the penalty. Might be another tap and go, might be a line out. We'll wait and see. And they're still in the line. They have Lyon. Page Ruler throws it out to Montiawani. He then throws it out to touch. Not a good moment there from Lyon. They just ran out of rugby field, really, is the only way to describe that. Difficult when you can't pass the ball forward and you've got basically 30 centimeters worth of room to work with. It had to be so flat there from Montiawani. So it'll be a 5-minute scrum here for the Bulls. Big opportunity for them to continue to put the pressure on Lyon with just over 20 minutes left on the clock. So on the right hand side, slips the one tackle, just short as Albert Lowe. And Bruce Appear looking for a hat trick, by the way. Just short. It was definitely on his mind when he did a bit of a snipe there. Ruan from Mark. He's looking for a second. Marcel could see it. Also looking for a second. Driven back. Albert Lowe, pick up and go. Got Mornay Smith on his back. Very good tackle there on Albert Lowe. Using the momentum here on the Bulls. Pierre Matanzima will look to try and put them back on the front foot. Good work there from Matanzima. Akavanamova goes himself. Gross Appear is going to go to David Creel. Made by Demba Bamba. He's looking to try and rip the ball in the tackle. Tackle release. Now Matanzima goes nice and low. They're 5 meters out here, are the Bulls. Appear popping up to Akavanamova. Slightly isolated. Does well to have an extra roll. Make that ball available. Albert Lowe, quick defense up there. As Parisian was trying to make the hit there. Available for Ambrose Pierre. They continue to go down the left-hand side. Chris Smith, by the way, onto the park. Place Jan Koos. And that's Devin Williams on as well. Yeah, it's crawling on the ground there. Chris Smith, if he had just placed it, he really had to go. He'd been tackled onto the ground. All he had to do there was recycle that. The Bulls would have scored. But crawling is the call there on Chris Smith. So penalty for Lyon. They'll be able to clear their lines. So in terms of other Champions Cup games today and what time they start, at 4 o'clock we've got Stormers versus La Rochelle, as well as Exeter versus Bath. 6:30 we'll see Border Begley take on Saracens. 9 o'clock will be the big Leinster versus Leicester game. I believe there's two games tomorrow. Northampton versus Munster at 1:30. Toulouse versus Racing at 4 o'clock. Would have liked to watch that game, but we will be live for the Sharks game. In terms of the Challenge Cup, Lions playing 6:30 today. We've got Edinburgh versus Bayonne at 9 o'clock. At the same time as Ospreys versus Sale. Tomorrow as Montpellier versus Ulster, as well as Sharks versus Connacht. final game of the weekend is Sharks versus Edinburgh. Power versus Connacht to the final game at 6:30. We will be live immediately after this game for the Stormers game, so don't go away. This stream will direct you straight there, so you don't have to do anything. You just have to keep your tab open like Chris Smith, showing going himself, but then bringing in Albert Lowe, who couldn't really gather. Lock on, and Leon looking now on the counter-attack. Chip and chase there from Godwin. Well done by Kenny Moody. Just back onto the park. Good step from him as well. Now down the left-hand side. Puma Tanza. A bit of a goosey there. The big loose head. Getting the offload away to Ryan Ludwig as well. No, in fact, he actually held on. Probably the right decision. Devin Williams goes to the left boot there. Currie Lawrence against Thacker Abrahams. Looked like he might have won the race, but the ball in the end just running out. Could have been an interesting race that between the two of them. A bit of a Liebach versus Pollard chat. That's difficult, you know. I think we're very different teams with either on the pitch. You know, I think if we had a goal kicker, for example, I'd like to see it for Liebach, but we obviously know that where the issues come. Obviously, Andre Pollard provides the stability and the defensive aspect to it as well. They're different, you know. I mean, I think in a very tight sort of arm wrestle type game, you know, I think Andre Pollard's probably your go-to. I think if you're willing to take a risk and want to try and play a bit of more attacking rugby and stuff, then Monty Liebach's your boy. I think you got to kind of have to play the situation, don't you? Even play the conditions as well. You know, dry conditions, at altitude, you know, conditions suited for running rugby. I think Monty Liebach could cause some serious damage. You're playing in the wet, for example, overseas, a bit cooler. A bit more tricky conditions, then I think you got Andre Pollard. I don't think there's that much between them, to be honest. I think that the goal kicking puts Andre Pollard as your sort of number one playoff sort of big match type of player. But I mean, Monty Liebach plays for the Boks. He creates so many opportunities, for example, then that sometimes compensates for goal kicking issues. Short ball there to Ulrich Lowe. Good work there from the Bulls. Back on the front foot here. Currie Lawrence almost seeing a bit of a space there. On a bit of a snipe herself for the scrum off. And Ambrose Pierre now going to Ulrich Lowe. Wouldn't be surprised if we see Ambrose Pierre being changed very soon. Try and protect him there. Penalty there for Lyon. For holding on as the call. And a bit of talk about Daniel Willems. He is probably my favorite player. That Bok backline. So much fun to watch. Very, very. And I still think that inside centre is where he might land up. I look at the young inside centres around the country, and I don't think anybody really touches him. I think that Dan Duplessis is a good player. David Creel's a solid player. But I think Daniel Willems, for me, would be the ideal number 12. I think he could be world-class. Absolutely. I think he's world-class anyway. But I think you got Kieran Horn, for example, at fullback. I believe Varsity playing good rugby at fullback. Devin Williams, actually, not that he's pretty old, or older at least, but you know, you got Currie Lawrence as a potential option at fullback. I think that Devin Williams at 12 is where he gets into the game a bit more for me. Defensively, he's so good at 15. And eventually the ball finding touch there from Lyon. So it'll be a Bulls down inside their own half here. 40 minutes to go. And I think this is now where the Lyon players will be starting to suck a bit of air. You can see a couple of hands on head there. Just trying to... and that's a replacement hooker, by the way. That's breathing pretty heavily. That's Yanis Shokas there, who I think is starting to understand what the altitude means. This is where the home advantage really kicks in for the likes of the Bulls. Like that initially by Dima Turb, and now he's been tackled on the ball. Adriel goes to, that's good hands. Paddy Jackson goes to Montiawani. Montiawani, but a show and go. Looking to try and free his hands to the tackle, making a few yards. An inside interception, and that's going to be it. David Creel's going to run the length, and he's going to score under the poles there. against the run of play, it must be said. I mean, it is an interception, often is. But good work there from David Creel. He goes under the poles there. Bulls 45 points. The 50 could be on here. You don't expect to see such a big scoreline when it comes to a playoff match, but the Bulls have been that good today. Such a good read there from David Creel. Probably shouldn't have. I mean, the pass was never really on. At 7 tries for the Bulls. Chris Smith will have his first shot at goal here. Less than 12 minutes on the clock, and this has been a runaway victory for the Bulls, hasn't it? Albert saying Ireland, France, and All Blacks all target the 10 channel and attack, so Rusty will always have the best defending 10 and 12 in the field for the box. I think Jordan Hendrickson, for me, is somebody who they need to get right. I think if Jordan Hendrickson starts to live up to his potential, I think he becomes the box number 10 for many years, and I think he ticks every box. He's physical, fantastic defender, huge boot. When he's on song, he's a really good attacker as well. Good goal kicker. So I think that he, for me, is like the most complete package moving forward. That favorite goal is obviously a big option. I think he's got a lot to learn. Much the same as Jordan Hendrickson, to be honest. But I think those two will battle it out for that number 10 jersey. And yeah, I personally just really like Damian Williams at 12. Who do you want to be the next box captain? I think it'll be Ewan Etzebeth. I think that'll be the easy option to go to. There's a player based in South Africa. Ongi Madambi for me, not my favorite option. Kanya Am's at outside centre, so they do say they prefer to have somebody closer to the scrum. And as much as I love Lakanya Am, absolute go-to of a player, you look at what Jason Creel did at the World Cup, and he becomes very hard to drop moving forward. So I think that's going to be an interesting battle between those two. Right, Mornay Smith looking to get balls back on the front foot. 47 points to 19, by the way. Paige Relow has left the park once again, so Liam Remay is on. This time he will not be going back on. Well, Paige Relow, that is his game done. Saka Abrams going to the boot. Well positioned is Devin Williams. He goes to the left boot. To Paddy Jackson. Paddy Jackson has knocked this backwards. Goes to Demotier. Goes to Montioli. Montioli wants a chip and chase. Does so very well. Just has a hand to Sebastian Clark there. Picking it up. So not got advantage for the Bulls. Chris Smith looking for options. Goes to David Van Heerden. He goes to more direct. Who pops up to Nizam Carr. Goes to Renard Ludwig. Nizam Carr's there to regather. Nizam Carr going. And down the right hand side, Zach Berger to David Creel. This has to be a try. David Creel inside to Chris Smith. And Chris Smith will bring up the 50 for the Bulls. If there's a cricket bat, that'd be taking the helmet off, but acknowledging the crowd. We used to do it at school. Always the best moments there when you're absolutely hammering an opponent. Somebody whips out the cricket bat and acknowledges the 50. His first try in Champions Cup rugby for Chris Smith. Become a bit of a passenger, a bit of a forgotten soul really in this Bulls squad. Chris Smith was playing a lot a few seasons ago, but with the acquisition of Jakob van der Walt and the rise of Jan Coulson, he's kind of sort of fell off to the wayside a little bit as Chris Smith. So he had a good game a couple of weeks ago, just reminding people he's still there and thereabouts. I think he'd actually really be suited for overseas, to be honest. There are rumours that he might be going over, which I think would be a good idea for him. Still got plenty of years ahead of him. Not an old flower half by any means. 29 years old, so he turns 30 this year, so he's got a good 3-4 years left to him at least. And so I think him to move overseas will be doing well. How about Sneyman? Well, Sneyman's not locally based, so I don't know if he becomes an option. I never really looked at Sneyman as a potential captain option, to be honest. I think if you were picking anybody after Select League, if you wanted to pick a younger candidate, Ponchapara's not old at all. He's not yet 30. I'm trying to think of the other overseas option. Steven Kitsov obviously is captain Stormers. He's also not particularly young these days, but could be around for quite a few years. Salman Murat is somebody who they've always sort of backed as the next future box captain. Needs to get someone to the box squad first. He's part of the alignment camps. Not a good offload that from Kane Moody after doing very well with the kickoff. A boy here from Lyon. Montiawali, I've really enjoyed watching him. And he goes to Godwin, who finds stuff on the wing. Ball back inside. On a Buerta, loses the ball. Which side are you playing on, yeah, mate? Remember, you're playing with the white... Let's say you're playing for the white guys now, but I mean, playing for the Bulls, pretty much are playing for the guys. I lie, they're a lot better. We're referring to the kick. Now, Devin Williams. Behind, that might be too no. That's actually held up very nicely. What a signing he's been, by the way. Devin Williams has been absolutely brilliant football. Back at Abrahams, under a lot of pressure there. Needs to find a good clearance. Bad clearance at all from Thacker Abrahams, who has settled in quite nicely at Lyon. I'm about to go pull up his stats here. Playing fullback today. Wasn't getting much game time, but at the Sharks, he played 12 times for Lyon. A lot of the bench, and when he has played, he actually has played more at 15 than he has actually on the wing. He's got 5 tries to his name in 12 games so far. It's just starting 8 of them. So he's scored some tries. 4 of them actually coming in the Champions Cup. So he's had a very good Champions Cup campaign. And that was before today, by the way. So it's 13 games now. Good work this from Lyon on defense, but Bulls, no, not too much to worry about. And Chris Smith will go to the boot as he spots a bit of space over there and says, "Thank you very much. We'll just take it 50-22. Let's get going again." Great kick. That really is. In terms of game management as well. Pinning them back. They'll have the line out. Just saying, calm down. Let's just chill. To be fair for the Bulls, this is about not getting over the line. It's the game's been wrapped up. There's no need to do anything too hectic. No need to try and injure yourself or play yourself into the ground. Avling said 27-15. She's make a comeback. Well, there we go. Could they yet pull out something out of the hat? Not about a rabbit, maybe more of an African hare out the hat. 10 minutes to go over there. 27 points to 15. So the Cheetahs, 2 converted tries would do the job over there. For the next few minutes, you'd imagine. Anyway, Bulls back on the front foot here. Dave van Heerden, who's worked hard. Late replacement for Whitelock here in this game. And the penalty coming the way of Lyon. 5 minutes left on the clock here. Thacker Abrams, oh, look at that work there. See what I'm impressed by this game is the game, how quickly it's taken. I mean, we're going to end this game with a little kick over the top. Looking at that 50-22 once again. This time he's overcooked it, though, as Chris Smith. It often takes us about 2 hours to get through a game. We've got 4 minutes left on the clock, and that will be an hour and about 20. Sorry, an hour and 40. A much, much better, sort of from a time perspective in terms of how long games should take. So that's been good to see, because I think games are taking far too long to finish. Lyon, a bit of a breakaway there from Arno Buerta, but Currie has made the interception. Good work from him. Now, Currie is still going, by the way, as Currie Inside, outside of Montiawani. Awani makes the tackle. He throws the ball back inside. Janko Swanepoel dives on it. Ball's on the front foot here. Okay, are the Bulls yet going to have another one? It looks like they're on the brink. Long pass out wide. Sebastian de Klerk comes inside. Sebastian de Klerk will go over. And what was already a long game for Lyon is going even longer. What a try that is. Curtly Arendse take a bow. And the Bulls have just dispatched Dispatched Lyon here. 59 points to 19. Kick to come. 2 minutes left on the clock. What a result this is going to be for the Bulls. Currie Lawrence, the man who created all of that. Sebastian de Klerk, the one who finished it. Well, it's been a drubbing. It's been a drubbing. Bulls will carry on to the quarterfinals. I have to wait and see exactly who they will play, but what a performance then from them. Big sign of intent. I mean, Jake White basically said there was no chance they could win this competition, which I think is a bit defeatist. You know, luck. You're going to need a bit of luck. You always are. But why not? Why not back yourself and say, well, maybe we could stumble our way to a final, and once you get to that final, then literally anything can happen. Mbamba now. Gives it back to Arno Buerta. Well, Cheetahs 22 points to 27. I'm going to switch over to that match after this and try and watch that finish. That could be a great finish there. Last few seconds of this game, by the way. 15 seconds left on the clock. We'll be live, by the way, for Stormers versus La Rochelle. That game kicking off in just less than an hour. The team is already live, so you can go watch a bit of build-up over on the channel. I'll be live with you guys in about just over half an hour's time. But Lyon, as the hooter goes, looking to try and have the last laugh here. Maybe try and see if they can institute a bit of a last try wins situation, you know. Montiwani, one of the few shining lights for this Lyon side. Penalty advantage for them. Thacker Abrahams goes to Demotier. No advantage there. Tap and go here from Ume. But no, not touched apparently. Almost looked like Parisian knocked it on. They're just on the brink here, Lyon. I mean, if nothing else, just finish on a try. Just short there is big other Jonathan Marlowe. And knocked it on, I think. So no try there for Lyon. Right, final score, 59 points to 90. People, thank you very much for joining me. We'll see you guys over at the Stormers game very shortly. If you're a Bulls fan, go and celebrate that. Crack open the brothers. Have a beer and enjoy that. And I'll see you guys in just a few for another cracking game. Hopefully the Cheetahs can really pull one back towards the end. We'll let you know how that goes in a few minutes. But until then, keep well, keep safe, and we'll see you guys next time.